Good morning and welcome to From the Second Row. I'm Brenda Rozzi.
And I'm Rich Russell. This could be the last time, maybe the last time. We don't know.
In the studio.
Yeah, in the studio,
Right,
but we're
right.
working on that.
Yeah.
First of all, I have to explain the shirt. The city did not buy this shirt. Unknown to taxpayers, each city councilor has a $500 discretionary fund at their to use.
Right.
I mean, if you don't like the business cards that the city prints up for you, you can get the gold, or if you want to get a plaque for somebody,
Right.
Stuff like that. So when I was presented, when I got on the council in March of 23, Council President Mark LaPlante said, here's an invoice. This is how it's done. Now, I won't mention the councilor's name, but the invoice was from the shirt place down behind the church.
In South Lawrence.
Yeah.
It's a
I'm not sure
I
what.
forget what it's called. Yeah.
So I can't remember the name of the place. I can't remember the name of the
Right.
church, but it's on Gore.
It's Sacred Heart.
Sacred Heart.
Sacred
Okay.
Heart Church.
It's like
yeah.
one block up from
Right,
Sacred Heart.
right.
So I went down there and I said, if I avail myself of taking it from this discretionary funds, I'm going to catch hell. So I bought 2 of these shirts and I bought a bright orange rain jacket with
Right.
the logo and all that good stuff out of my own pocket. I don't need anybody doing it. And the reason I did that, the invoice that Mark gave me, a city councilor went and had $500 worth of campaign t-shirts printed at city expense. Okay? So,
Yeah.
that's said and done. Let's continue to the
Right.
the
The
fiasco.
agenda for tomorrow night is the city council meeting.
Tomorrow night, well, tonight and tomorrow night are the 2 most important council meetings of the year.
Okay.
Everybody thinks that setting the tax rate's nothing. The tax rate is going to remain the same.
Right.
The issue is tonight, public hearing on this, and tomorrow night, they will be voting on it, hopefully.
Yeah.
Well, favorably, let's put it, not hopefully, favorably. We know what favorably is. It could be a crap show, but it is what it is. But like I said, Brenda and I have been there a long time, and we both agree that I think that this tomorrow night is the most important council meeting of the year.
Right. But what if they can't come to agreement tonight? Then they're going to go on to the 18th.
Then we'll go into
Then we'll go into July.
and then we'll go into the
We'll have a special meeting.
then we'll go into the Patrick Blanchett playbook,
Then we'll have a special meeting. Yeah.
and we'll have another special meeting because from what we're hearing, there aren't too many people that are happy with this. And I mean, I'm talking councils, the hell with the citizens.
Yeah.
But okay, I
Yeah.
digress.
Okay, so this is the city council agenda. It's 5 pages long. Most of it's table matters that they really should get rid of, but whatever. And it starts off with the roll call, moment of silence, pledge of allegiance, approval of the June 3rd minutes, and public participation, which is usually just Mr. Molly and Rich that get up. There are a few that do get up and speak, but normally it's just those 2.
But tonight, I have to digress on this.
Right.
Tonight is the public hearing on the city budget. You wish to speak on it, there is no time limit.
Right.
The
You could be up
only,
there all night.
the only caveat is do not repeat yourself.
Right.
You repeat yourself, you've lost the councilors, and Giovanni will end up breaking his gavel,
Right.
gaveling you out of order. But that's neither here nor there.
Right. But like I said, so now we have very minimal
Public hearing.
hearings. Although looking ahead, there's a lot of, we have Saratoga Street one way.
It's from Wendy Luzon and Sandra Silva
Yeah,
from the Portuguese
Portuguese
Club.
Club.
It's probably a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
Before we went on the air, Brenda and I were talking about Irving Avenue one way. In the works, the state is going to be paying almost, I think it was 13 or 14 million dollars to replace the Modulwich Bridge over the Spigot River, right there as it goes into Canal Street.
Right.
Not Canal Street, because it goes into Irving Ave.
Right.
Now, they want to make Irving Ave one way, and we were discussing which would be the better of the two. One end of Irving Avenue, you have Lawrence Street. The other end of Irving Avenue, you have Jackson Street. Which way do you want to make it one way?
Either way, it will be a shit show.
Yeah.
But I would think going Irving Ave one way from Jackson to Lawrence might be better.
But then you're going to end up going past the Leahy School, which presents a safety issue, at least in my estimation.
But you're going to go past the Leahy School either way. So.
I think the traffic coming one way from Lawrence down to Jackson would be slower going past the Leahy School, because people want to go to Jackson Street. Now they can't make a right turn on Irving. They got to make a left turn. They're going to be a little bit on the agitated side, and lead-footed. So I mean,
this is going to be an interesting.
Yeah, like you said, crap show.
Yeah, and then now we have resident parking on Jackson Court. But, that's a short street, and there's maybe whatever.
Okay, removal of handicap parking, 264 Ames Street.
Remove handicap. What's the difference between removal or remove? I don't know.
Yeah.
23 North Boylston and 19 Exchange.
Yeah. One is sponsored. First one was sponsored by Councilor at Large Anna Levy and Peggy Clark. This is a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Oh, yeah.
That's North Boylston.
Long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that down on the days of what's her face, Marie Goslin, Peggy Clark? Didn't they kind of run together?
Yeah.
Hung out together. Let's put it that.
Yes, they did.
Okay, and the last of the public hearings is a relocation of two jointly owned poles on Stearns Ave from Nat Grid and our good friend Dave Johnson.
Yeah. A lot of matters pending public hearings, which probably will be whatever. There's no communication from the mayor.
Okay, let's go. We do have a couple of things that
Are the matters pending?
Matters pending. I didn't look to see what's at 333 Lawrence Street for 15-minute parking. We know that ain't gonna work.
No.
Handicap parking on Bradford Street. I got no problem with that. Let's see, stop sign at Crescent and May Street. Handicap parking, 343 South Broadway. Is that still in the parking meter zone?
Probably. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then we have childcare parking. I hope the children take care of parking at 336 Walnut. There's a few things there that they'll show up in due time. They're probably be waiting for investigation by the police and the engineering department. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, DPW, whatever. Okay, now we get into committee reports.
Yeah.
Budget and finance.
Authority to expend. Does that mean waste? WAS. No, expend has got one more letter than waste. $44,000. Sustainable Material Recovery Program from Mass DEP. Nelson Silva, Recycling Coordinator. There's a name from the past.
Review and approval of annual application to the HUD for a community development block grant in the amount of $1,638,713 and home grant in the amount of $894,17. That's by Sue Fink.
There's $2.47 million that.
Yeah.
Okay, now transfer $492,770, and I love it when they put cents, 34 cents.
Well, come on, you gotta get it in there.
From free cash account to the new account designated for police department capital improvements. What more could they want? I mean,
wonder if it has
they're getting a
anything, it might have something to, maybe it has something to do with the, either the new police department, the new police building, or it could be, have something to do with, what he's doing with the, police and their, positions inside.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, now, collectively, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, I skipped over one, but we've got the reauthorization of a variety.
We forgot the year-end transfer between departmental.
Let me get to that one
okay.
in just a second.
Okay, all right.
We got a lot of things here.
What?
241.25. Reauthorization of PEG access and cable-related funds, revolving fund account. Appropriation of $450,000.
Yep.
When's that check coming? 1/3. Okay, now.
Yeah.
The one item, and this is gonna come back and, it's on new business. Year-end transfers between departmental accounts. If at this point in time, there is money left over in a department's account, that amount of money should be deducted from what they're looking for next year. Okay? And now, if this money that's being deducted from these variety of departmental accounts is being forwarded to another account to cover overspending, shame on them. They don't get money either. But again, that's just my thoughts.
Yeah. So, so the reauthorization of Bellevue Cemetery
Yeah.
revolving fund of $95,000.
Is that lights of the fountain? Let's see. You don't know, you folks don't know about that one yet.
Yeah, whatever. Reauthorization of Council on Aging revolving account, expenditure limit $150,000.
How much are we gonna get out of that? Oh, we did, didn't we?
Yeah.
Didn't we get that check? The
Yeah.
$175?
Yeah.
Okay. Reauthorization of the Recreation and Park Self-Supporting Service revolving fund account. Again, no amount. Adelie and Lisa could use all the money
Of
they,
course they could.
yeah.
Of course they could. The Veterans Memorial State revolving fund, expenditure limit $100,000. It's just,
Reauthorization of the library program revolving fund account, expenditure limit of $50,000. We won't talk about 450, that one's been mentioned.
Reauthorization of DPW recycling revolving fund account, expenditure limit of $150,000.
And now this is the biggie one. Transfer of funds, $6,137,126. No loose change from free cash
To various accounts.
to various
What are
accounts.
the various accounts?
Yes. That
What are the various accounts?
that might be a good item to create as an ordinance. Explain what these accounts are.
Right, yeah. Whatever. Okay, now Housing Committee. Grant of utility easement to Eversource Gas Company for the installation of utility infrastructure at 1 to 9 Hoffman Street, AKA 207 Marsden Street.
That's the corner of the old Tomborellos.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Which was developed into a real crap show.
Yeah, thanks.
Yes, that one's gonna bear some investigation.
Yeah.
Consideration of the land lease beyond 20 years. The leasee is Mark Scott, Hangar 4 LLC at the airport. And again, there's this another one, land lease beyond 20 years at the airport. Francisco put it up there on the thing. Francisco, one of the last honest people in city government.
Oh, this is true. He really is.
Yeah.
He really is. And he always has a seat with us.
Yeah.
Okay, now we got ordinance committee. Oh, a few ordinance. 1 year anniversary celebration, July 13th, 9 to 3, Campion Common, no, not in stage area, Jackson Street side near food trucks.
Okay. I don't know if that's a typo or not, but soil food truck?
Yeah, no, yeah,
That the name?
that's the name, and also on, Essex Street, they're opening a restaurant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, there really is.
I apologize if I made fun of your
Yeah.
name of your business,
I know.
but at least you're getting publicity.
That's right.
Handicap parking, 111 Arlington Street. That's up there by Councilor Greg Del Rosario and Rosa Castro. Let a public hearing be
Yeah.
ordered.
65 Tewksbury Street, also public hearing,
Uh,
and
120
101 Bradford Street, also public hearing.
124, that's handicap parking, 124 Oak Street. Okay.
Who's 134? Oh, wait a minute.
147, 48, 149 is Oxford Street.
Okay.
Okay, 151, 152.
Okay.
School bus drop off and pick up 65 Jackson Street. That's
Oh, yeah,
Parks up.
Yeah, you know what that is?
That's
Corner
when-
Jackson,
yeah.
Jackson Table.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Public hearing on that.
right. And I think most of these are, well, next comes, because they handicap parking, 114 Summer Street, order of public hearing.
31 Sergeant, Fedalina and Nilsick from the Veteran Service Office.
Yeah. 23 Summit Ave, public hearing.
Bennett's 45 Bennett Street, public hearing.
196 Bruce Street, public hearing.
And 25 Woodland Street, again, order of public hearing.
Right.
Madison, where the hell's Madison Street? Rezoning of parcel of land on Madison Street, map 177, lot 5, from I-1 industrial to R1 single-family residential. And that was put on by Stephanie and Juan Vasquez and Planning Director Dan McCarthy.
Then adopt new firm floodplain map for the city and approve amendment of the city's floodplain management ordinance, chapter 15.32, with latest regulations for National Flood Insurance Program, put on by Dan McCarthy.
Oh, I'm glad I live up on a hill, partially up on a hill.
Yeah, well, yeah, it rolls down,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
Floods the intersection of both all the directions. Let's see. Raining in the valley, as in a reign of terror, political rain. Not rain as in we've been having for the last 13 weekends in a row.
I know.
Raining in the valley, Campion Commons, August 15th and 16th. Just as a note, that's 2 days before my birthday.
Okay then.
Yes.
Okay, the 41st Annual Bread and Roses Festival, Campion Commons, September 1st,
Oh, I
12 to 5.
love that one.
Yeah.
That's like, there were people there, I swear, I ran across in the late 60s and early 70s from Harvard Square. It is a collection of radicals, let's put it that way. I'm being nice.
Yeah,
But they have their beliefs,
Yeah.
they have their right to do it.
right.
Family gathering, O'Connell Park, July 19th. That would have been my wife's birthday.
Dia di Coma Adios, Campion Common, August 30th. At least they're coming in advance. They're not coming like the week before and want to have an event.
Yeah, I know it.
Like other people do.
Let's see, disclosure of a conflict by city employee Angeli Bizzano.
Okay, and then Lawrence Cycling Club event / La Vuelta, Campion Common, July 13th, from 7 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon.
We're gonna do laps around the common.
I don't have a clue. No personnel, no
Yeah.
public safety, no economic development, no public safety. Okay.
Old business.
Yeah.
Transfer. Appropriation transfer, $116,800 from free cash to the Office of Planning and Development Infrastructure account. Payment of construction easement for MassDOT, the Lawrence Rail Trail project. Will somebody please shoot that rail trail and put it out of our misery?
Although it's supposed to be happening.
Yeah,
Supposed to be
right.
happening. Yeah. Table matters,
Tabled matters,
feels like.
sheet
more.
3, goes up to 2020. Let's see. The last item on table business is, intersection of, stop sign, 4-way, Genesee and, oh, that's where Madison
Madison
is.
is, yeah.
Okay, we know, at least we know
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
New business,
Okay.
you can pronounce this individual's name.
Reappoint Zoraida Geronimo, tenant representative to Lawrence Housing Authority.
Okay, now we gotta go to sheet 5.
Okay,
Reappoint Hugo Cortez to the Lawrence Housing Authority. Again, the mayor and Efren Lalonde.
he's a nice guy.
Uh,
Declaration of surplus property, 207 Marsden Street, put on by Charlotte Pasquale, acting community development
is
director.
she the only one that uses the acting in front of her? No. Somebody, there are a few others that use acting.
Yeah.
Year-end transfer between departmental accounts, $258,806 to environmental projects. And they give you a bunch of numbers from the cemetery and from the airport.
Yeah.
And this was put on by Octavian Span, a senior advisor to the mayor. And in brackets, emergency vote requested. No.
Yeah, but they'll do it.
I know they will. But again, they knew that this was gonna happen. Why couldn't they have put it up there a month ago? They have everybody investigate what was going on. Again, that's the one
I know. Longevity pay for certain employees. Tim Hooton, the city attorney, and Carol Garcia, acting personnel director.
Okay, handicap parking, 23 Washington Street.
Handicap parking, 38 Foster Street.
Handicap parking, 130 Amesbury Street.
Remove 2 handicap parking spaces at 71 Elm Street.
Okay. We wanna make one-way Chandler Street, southbound from Medford to Water Street. Okay,
30-minute parking, 91 Jackson Street.
okay, I looked on Google.
Well,
This one is like a block down from where Severino has his garage, Import Auto. There is another auto body or car repair place on the southerly corner of that intersection. 91 is a store directly across the intersection on the easterly side of Jackson Street. I have yet to see an automotive place that will not utilize every available parking space. Okay?
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Hampshire Street drop-off area, west side between Bradford and Haverhill.
Now this is for the community
Day charter.
day charter. And again, I think the next one is basically the same thing. Haverhill Street, school bus stop, south side intersection of Hampshire and Haverhill. Again, community day charter. That whole area is a crap show from 2:30 on
I know.
because you've got everybody double parked on Haverhill Street heading eastbound.
Yep.
Okay, then you have people trying to get into, what's the church on Bradford Street? I mean, the school,
Bellasini.
Bellasini. You got people double parked there trying to pick up their,
Yeah,
whatever happened to kids walking to school? You and I used to do it.
because they don't do that anymore. Even if you're in the neighborhood. Parents drive your kids to school. No one walks to school anymore.
Okay,
Oh, I shouldn't say that, because from they're doing work, I do see kids walking up, South Bowden Street to go to school. But
okay,
275-25,
yeah,
resident parking zone in B2 Leahy School area, Irving Ave, Wilmont, Avon, Durant, Currier, Trinity, Bruce, and Saunders. Makes sense.
yeah, okay, now, how are they gonna deal with the parking of the teachers and the employees.
Oh, that, I don't know, that's gonna be a crapshoot. That is, unless, yeah. I don't know.
They're gonna take,
They've already done with the old school. You can't park on Havel Street because they have the parking meters. I can see the teachers like, oh, class, I have to run out and put money in my meter.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't think so.
okay. This one was cute. I mean, I busted the 3 firemen
I love that,
Saturday.
I love, yeah.
A play date with Little Sprouts and Station 8. I mean, anything that the fire department can do to acclimate the children
Oh, my God.
about fire safety.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm a pro public safety individual anyways,
Right.
you know, so
Yeah.
whatever they can do, I got no problem
Right,
with.
right.
In fact, they chuckled when I said, oh, gee, I see you get your play dates posted on the city council agenda. They laughed over that.
Okay, then the junk dealer permit, Brandon Tetler, Winfield Alloy.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
now, my hat is off to Mark LaPlante.
Mhm.
Resolution honoring the internment of deceased Lawrence World War II soldiers in North African Cemetery. And Leo Legrande, Kenneth Kehoe, John Gabot, Stanley Buraki, and George Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what, the third or fourth, let's see, he did France, he did Italy, now he's doing Northern Africa, which is good.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, and this next one, 341 South Broadway, request council assistance with enforcement. If anyone knows about the A&M car repair, and behind, if you're going up Broadway, there's land behind, and if you can see the bumpers and stuff where they put it. They're not supposed to be putting it there. They've already been to court. The patrollers have won
Everything,
court case. Everything has been done legally. They're still doing it,
and
and they
the city,
refuse to-
for a variety of issues, for a variety of reasons, refuses to acknowledge the court decisions. They refuse to acknowledge deed restrictions.
Yep.
And I went down South Broadway yesterday afternoon, and they had banners draped on that
Yeah.
piece of construction. I don't know, it's like there's something else that's gonna be done there. It's,
They have flags, banner flags, but they all, but did you look in and see?
oh, I know, I've seen that.
Yeah.
But the banners were relatively new to me,
Oh,
so, I mean, I hadn't seen them before.
I don't know, it's scary.
Yeah.
You know, this has been going on,
Too long.
too long, it's been going on since, City Clerk Eileen Burnell was a counselor,
Yeah.
and, you know, that was in what, 2009?
Dave Abdu was the council.
Dave Abdu.
Yeah.
It's been going on since then.
Yeah.
And it just, no one, Mr. Patrol keeps going in to court, taking the courts, but no one wants to listen.
It is what it is.
Right.
Now, considering how we got like, well, half a show left in front of us. You've heard the phrase political speak, you know. What we say doesn't exactly mean what we do, what we want.
Right.
And I remember something, a senator from New Hampshire back in the 1990s. And this is when I was living in Delaware. I did cut this little clip out of the USA Today, and basically the senator said, politicians don't like it if people follow the law as we wrote it. Okay?
Okay.
That's frightening. Well, again, that was political speak. This is mathematical political magic.
Yeah.
This is pure, unadulterated bazunga, for lack of a better word. I have, this is the 26, I have the 25 and then 24 booklet. And I'll be honest, if I go, they show the amount of money that was allocated in 25 and the amount of money that was allocated in 24 in this book. But it doesn't agree with what is in the 25 book or the 24 book. Okay? Are they bending numbers just to make their presence known? So in keeping with that, let's see, what do we have here? We don't need that. We don't need that. That's comedy of errors, but that isn't what. These 12 or 15 sheets of paper are the budgets for the salaries in the mayor's office. Going back to, I think I went back to 2000. Actually, I went back to 2008.
Wow.
But I didn't, I was running out of space on the thing. No, it isn't. 2008, Mike Sullivan had a office staff of 5, and he had a budget of $313,000. And it all everything kind of went along. Kendry's, for his 2022 budget, he had 6 employees. Okay, now, I must say that they bounced between 5 and 6 employees in the mayor's office, including the mayor.
Right.
Which
isn't a lot of people.
No, it isn't.
But you don't need, I know Dan had the 2 in front.
Yeah.
He had chief of staff.
Yep.
He had Kate Riley, who did a lot of the publicity.
And chauffeur. She did the chauffeur work.
I think Orlando was up there at one point.
Yeah.
So it was 5 plus Dan.
Yeah. And the budgets for these 5 to 6 people from the time frame of the 2007 to the 2022 budget, and that included Mike Sullivan, Willie Lantigua, Dan Rivera, and Kendrys Vasquez. He only authored 1 budget.
Right.
Their budgets for salaries in the mayor's office started at $313,000. It went as low as $282,000, and Kendry's was the last one that was, well, his was topped the list. No, it didn't top the list, but it was $353,000. That was with 6 employees. Brian's first budget came in 10 employees, and we jumped to $783,000. That's a 121% increase over the previous budgeting. Next year, he bumped it up. He still kept 10 employees, but it bumped up another $180,000. Okay, 23% increase. 25, he dropped down to 9 employees, and his budget dropped by $20,000. No, $30,000. And then this budget, the 26 budget, we jumping back to $964,370 for a total of 9 employees. Now, the only person that is getting a raise or that was recommended for a raise in the mayor's office was the mayor, $25,000. Now, I asked the question, is acceptance of the budget for the mayor's office, is that a vote to give him a $25,000 raise, or does that $25,000 raise request have to go as an individual agenda item before the city council and finance committee and all that? Duh. Wait a minute. I think I discovered why they don't want me on the council. I worked with numbers all my life as a surveyor, and these things jump out at me. Okay, now, we start with, I got tired, my eyes got tired trying to pull stuff out of offline. And so I start with the 2015 budget authored by Willie Lantigua, His budget was for $271,670,063, okay?
Yeah.
The next year, it dropped down to just over 256. It was a decrease of 5.6%. Dan came in. Dan bumped it up to 285,000, but that's only $14 million more than what Willie's was 2 years prior.
Right.
Okay, I got no problem with that. So it goes 285, 295, 304, 308. Dan's last budget was $312 million. Kendry's came in, one budget, and for a variety of reasons, his budget jumped to $345 million. Okay? Brian's first budget jumped from 345 to $374 million. So that's a $29 million jump. That was in 23. 24, it jumped from 375 million to 413 million. Okay? Last year, it jumped from the 413 to 435. This year, what he's proposing in this is $470 million. Next year, the budget will hit $500 million for the city of Lawrence, the way these numbers are rolling up. Earlier in the show, I said that tonight and tomorrow night and possibly Wednesday night are the most important meetings, council meetings of the year.
Right.
This is where we, the citizens, or at least tonight, get to bitch about this crap.
Right.
We've heard through the grapevine that there are councilors that are not happy, and it's going to be touch and go.
And you would hope that these councils stick to being not happy.
Yeah.
And do something about it.
Again, I made mention that all my rantings and ravings that I have done, and I've done it a considerable number of years, whether they have heeded any of my advice or not, no, because they don't like the citizens. They have better ideas than they do.
Right.
Most of the budgets, the cuts have been minimal. And I came out and I said the over-under on them cutting money from the budget is $100,000, and I'm going with the lower side.
Yeah.
No, they won't cut it.
No.
If they cut anything. But again,
But you know what? Those of you who are running for office, you need to be there tonight. You need to start going to city council meetings, because if you want to sit in the council, show that you really want to be on the council, and you're gonna be there. And if
get to know what you're going to be working with.
Exactly. I mean, look at my meeting the other night when we had, when they started talking about the budget.
Yeah. That was priceless. I got an audible gasp when I threw numbers out.
Yeah.
And
People don't realize.
Yeah.
People don't realize.
Yeah.
If you want a seat on the council, then show us you want a seat on the council.
I mean, his taking off on that vein about knowing what's going on. Have any of you dug into the Amesbury Lawrence Street fiasco? Do you guys know when that project's going to be finished? Do you know when it's going to be all completely finished? Do you know anything about the fiasco on Union Street Bridge over the North Canal?
Nope.
I have to say, I mean, there's maybe one person that's out there running for a council that knows what I'm talking about. He's worked for the DPW. He knows where this information is.
Yeah.
I have worked on contracts as a surveyor for the DPW, so I know how weird that this stuff is. If you drive down Union Street, as you're heading south, on the left-hand side, the sidewalk is barricaded off because it's in deplorable condition. Okay, the state has a contract to repair. Now this one, I can't make this up. this is even better. And I got a response from the engineer. They are gonna repair the sidewalk. Oh, okay, it's all well and good. I said, no, and I looked, and you go in there, you go into MassDOT, highway construction, type in Lawrence, and you can see all the projects in Lawrence. And you'll see Union Street, North Canal. Wait a minute, how come you got two of them? Two different project numbers. So I open up the second project number. The second project number is to repair the bridge structure itself. Wait a minute, what? No. I can't make this up.
Yeah.
So I sent an email, because there's a link there, I can email the engineer and everything. And I said, what's the story? You're a sidewalk, and then you got a road. He says, we're repairing the sidewalk until we figure out what we're gonna do with the road. Massachusetts, Lawrence. Getting back to Amesbury Street, I looked at the project and it said design, and it said municipality. I says, you've got to be kidding me. There are a few people that know what my thoughts are on the city engineer's situation in Lawrence. So I asked who designed it, and actually it is a firm, an engineering firm down on out of Riverwalk. They have offices in Hampton, Manchester, and Portland. They're
Yeah.
regional, and they've got a good,
Is it tech?
huh?
Is it tech?
Yeah.
Okay.
They got a good track history.
Yeah, they do.
I got a 2-day response on
Yeah.
both of those things. I'm amazed. Are any of the councilors doing any digging on stuff like this? But I not to slice and dice their chances. You guys all got full-time jobs. I don't. Well, I do. I admit it. I sit at a keyboard and I said, let's see where we're gonna go today. It is what it is. I look at this. I look at this. I look at the money that's being wasted. I look at the do I want to say gross stupidity?
Well,
Arrogance? Is arrogance part of it too?
yes.
Huh?
You just, like you said, some of the stuff you just can't make up.
I know.
You just shake your head and think, why? I can't even imagine what that's going to look like. And they've already said, once they make Amesbury Street 2 ways, the fire trucks are going to have a hard time going down.
Yeah.
Lowell Street.
Yeah.
Turning onto Lowell Street.
Yeah. I did get, I don't know, a dozen or so 11 by 17 sheets, construction sheets from Dan McCarthy, just showing the schematics of what's happening. So, I mean, I could lay them all down and stretch them out, and you could see what's going on. But the ultimate is at Beirut Square. You people don't know what Beirut Square is. I do. No, it's just up beyond, what's the name of the church?
St. Anthony.
Yeah, St. Anthony's. It was for the,
That's where they have the Maharajan.
yeah, okay, the monument was placed there by Lebanese.
Right.
The monument will be saved and it will be placed in the center of the Rotary. I can't make this up. Somebody asked me, somebody described the Rotary as a 4-point Rotary, and they said, what is a 4-point Rotary? I says, it's one more than a 3-ring circus. It is. Rotary, I mean, it won't be as bad as the Manchester Street Rotary, thank God. But again, a Rotary should be banned.
Why not?
Again, I don't know why, nobody will own up to why they are redoing Amesbury Street, making it two-way.
I lived here for 75, well, be 75 years. I don't remember Amesbury Street ever being two ways. But, you know, maybe when I was a baby, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't ever remember it being two ways. I don't know why we need to do it now. But.
Yeah, you know, you look at it and I look at
Yeah,
it.
they're saying when you come over the middle bridge and, you know, instead of, when you get to where the cloudy used to be, instead of taking a left or right, you can just go straight. It'll make things easier. I'm like, really? Whatever.
The Casey Bridge.
Yeah.
Now, do I dare touch on political signs?
Good. Good. They're all over the place. They're like popping up like
Yeah, like ants at a 4th of July
Yeah.
picnic.
yeah.
I have had discussions with both Charlie Body when he was a city attorney and with Tim Houghton,
Yeah.
now who's the present city attorney. And they have both basically told me that the size restriction on campaign signs is a violation of the First Amendment rights. Okay, the political signs part of, let's see, I don't even know what the hell, what's the double, is that the section? You know, the two S's together. You know, and you see it in law and all that good stuff. But section 29-20, section 9, political campaign signs. There's like 5 or 6 different restrictions there. One of them says that campaign signs are limited to no more than 6 square feet. 3 foot by 2 foot.
Right.
Normal campaign sign is 18 by 24, which would be 3 square feet. Okay, no big deal. I mean, I've seen signs out there that are 96 square feet.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You know, they say it's freedom, First Amendment right, freedom of speech.
Right.
Part of that sign ordinance, political sign ordinances, I mean, there's other things you can't do. You can't put signs up on telephone poles.
Which there are.
You can't put signs in abandoned buildings.
Which there are.
Now, here's the biggie, the real biggie. You can only have 1 sign per property, which brings it in, it would bring in another point. There are individuals out there that have plastered various fence lines with 2, 3, 4 campaign signs. Okay?
Yep.
The only issue that permits multiple signs on a property is if you're on a corner. You can have a sign on each corner.
Right.
Okay, I've seen some of those, okay, I got no issue with that. I know I got run out of the inspectional service issue way back, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 years ago. I said, well, what if a house fronts on 3 streets? There is somebody, we know who it is. Used to deal with him.
Yeah.
And he got fed up and said, bang, I'm out the door.
I know.
They ran me out. They just laughed at me. I said, it's a valid question. Okay, I look at these people now. The one sign, is that per individual or per total? Brenda's running for office. She's got a sign on the fence out in front of her house. I know you don't have a fence, but you've got a sign. Can I put? No, that's her one sign. Well, she lives on a corner, so she would have 2 signs.
Right.
Can I put a sign because it's a different sign altogether?
I would think so. But no, is it, I don't know.
Don't know.
No,
Don't know.
don't know.
You know, so I mean,
We just, yeah,
the case I mentioned earlier, the Manchester Street Rotary,
right,
that thing's getting to be a traffic hazard, and signs are on the corner of May Street and, Manchester
Yeah.
Street. You know, and they got aggravated at me because I managed to climb up on the stone abutment and put wedge signs into the joints in the granite. But again, no, it is what it is.
oh, yeah.
But
yeah.
again, it's questions that deserve to be
Oh,
answered.
definitely.
And, I will throw this in here. I know a lot of people have said, whatever happened to me on Facebook? Well, I got deleted last October for violating community standards.
Don't know what they were.
Zuckerberg won't tell me what the standards were. His people, they've ignored me. I've tried 3 or 4 times. Well, I did manage to get on with a well-hidden, a very unknown political activist in the community.
Mhm. Yeah,
You'll see she posts my comments. I say she. No, actually, I'm not even gonna say it's a she.
yeah, whatever.
It's a whatever.
Yeah.
Owner, more time,
Yeah.
post my comments
Right, on Facebook.
on Facebook.
Why don't you like spell it out so they'll know?
Owner, ONA, more, MOORETYME, as in, if you say it real fast, it comes out one more time.
Yep.
So I am out there. I do have a presence on Facebook.
Yep.
With owner is charitable and allows me to post a lot of extraneous information that I think people in Lawrence need to know.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah. It is what it is. So, you know, we're out there, and again, as you can see, our studio is becoming more barren and barren and barren by the day.
I know. But, you know, like I said, we need to, like I said, it'll be interesting tonight, especially who's there to look for the public hearing for the budget.
I
You
know.
And even though people say, oh, I watch online.
No,
But you need to be
watch it.
because you know what, they scan, conspirators scan the studio. People need to see you're there.
Yes.
People need to see you're
Yes.
watching
Yes.
what the councils now are doing. And if you're running to replace one of those councilors, you need to be there.
I hate to deflate some councilors' egos, but going to the council, you can actually see how stupid some of them are. Did I step on any toes?
No,
That-
no.
The truth.
Yeah.
Is there an amendment that says like, speak not the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the
Look
truth?
to-
Oh, that's a court.
Yeah,
Good
whatever,
Lord.
yeah. But no, but you know, like if you're running,
Yeah.
you need to be there.
Yes, and if
People
you're,
need to see, your constituents need to see you there.
they do, really. And I mean, I know I must point out, I am running.
Mm-hmm.
I am inviting legitimately my opponents to come down and actually see
Right,
what is or isn't happening.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I have seen, I think I've only seen one candidate.
Yep.
Down there.
Right. And also, if you're going to go up to public participation, do not say you're running for office.
Because it happened once already and I bit my tongue. This time I won't.
Because it's not allowed.
Yes.
Because it's not, that's not.
It isn't a political forum.
That's right.
But again, please go down there. Everybody thinks that the budget is a rubber stamp deal. No, it isn't.
It's not.
The council cannot add to the budget.
But they can,
They can subtract.
And they can subtract as much as they want.
Yes. It can get vetoed when it goes upstairs. I mean,
Which it probably will anyway.
it will, yeah, we know it will.
Yeah,
But again, then they'll couple of backroom deals over a cup of coffee or whatever.
Yeah.
And okay, we can do this. We'll do that, and it'll come in under between $75,000 and $100,000
But
in
the
cuts.
thing is, for pay raises,
We don't even want to go
a
there.
lot of them are not justified, and they shouldn't be allowed. But they will go through.
I'll mention her name, Wilda, office planning.
Yeah, so.
She's bagging a $55,000 raise if that budget goes through. And what I've heard scuttlebutt is she moaned and groaned. Well, the glass ceiling, men are making more than I am. Hey, wait a minute, taxpayers have got a glass ceiling too. It's on their wallet. We've only got so much we can pay. No, I can't. The last time I looked at anything, the mayor was the 24th highest paid employee in the city. Duh.
What does that tell you?
Yeah. The top 3 people in the city, in no particular order: police chief, fire chief, and the CAFO. Those 3. And quite frankly, I would put the fire chief on the top of the list.
Yeah.
He has to be prepared for anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the CAFO, he has to have, or the CAFO, he or she, I should not be sexist about it, they should have a brain in their head. They have to be extremely knowledgeable about bond issues, what the requirements are for this, what they can't do with that. Their knowledge isn't something that can be picked up in 5 years. This is something of working in and around government and as an accountant and this and that over the course of 20 or 30 years. You know, to me, it isn't a stepping stone going from the first step up to the 5th step. You gotta hit each one of the steps on the way up. But again, like I said, I've said it before, I'll say it again, and I'll continue to say it. This is the most important couple of nights in the city. The past, 4 or 5 things, the tax rate has remained the same.
It's gonna go up.
The tax rate's gonna stay, the tax rate, there is a difference.
Okay.
The tax rate is what, your taxes go up because they raise the assessment. That's what everybody thinks. Well, they raised my taxes. No. The council maintained an even keel on the tax rate.
Okay.
The city is following what the law allows. 10 years ago, they were only reassessing property every 3 years. Now they're doing it every year. And we know how the value of property in Lawrence is blown out of sight.
Yeah. Like someone said, her kids are living at home because they can't afford to get apartments.
Yeah.
You can't afford an apartment.
Yeah.
There's no way.
I know.
What, $2,300 for an...
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
I know.
It's like, where do you go? What do you do?
I know.
I said, for that much money, my mortgage payment's cheaper than that.
Yeah.
I'm like...
I'll be honest, my mortgage payment is somewhere in the $1,200 range for my humble dump. I mean, I admit, I got the place at the right time, 2001.
Right.
And if it was a situation, it advanced by 10 years, I'd be living in a tent down in the river.
I just, and people have families. And go to the Board of Health meetings and listen to, like when I went to one of them, and some lady who was pregnant who had a kid was living on a porch and paying rent on a porch.
Yeah.
How do you pay rent on a porch? I don't understand this. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
People just, people buy houses. Oh, yeah, I'm going to rent a room. So they rent a room to a family of 5, and they have 3 other bedrooms, so another family of 5. No, it just blows my mind totally. Just blows my mind totally that that's what happened.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
I saw the same thing when I was down in Delaware. I worked when I first moved down there, I worked for a sleaze bag operation, and they closed down one of their offices, which was a 2.5 story house. And down there in Delaware, we had a lot of Central Americans working the chicken plants. And, Purdue and,
Oh, I know they were down one.
yeah, they were all over the place.
Yeah.
And then we had the turkey plant over in Selbyville.
Yeah.
But again,
Yeah.
Like you said, they were renting out a room.
Right. That's what they rent, family of 5.
Yeah.
And people, because they need a place, they're doing it.
Yeah.
It blows my mind.
And the sad thing about it is the people that do find places to rent, they expect that their rent will go up.
Oh, they know. Well, someone mentioned, so which means if the taxes go up or the assessment goes up,
So
my rent is gonna go up.
Automatic.
What do I do?
Yeah.
What do I do?
There's a lot of them, they accept it as a fact of life, of living in Lawrence. The rent's gonna go up here, either every 6 months or every year.
Wow.
It is what it is, and you've got your share of lack of a better word, real estate investors,
Yeah.
AKA, well, I can't say slumlords.
Yeah. I mean, there are some who are building houses who do really well. I mean, being on the planning board, you see what they do.
Yeah.
They come with a project, I would never say no, because I know what they do. I've seen it. It's the same all the time. It's, whatever. Then some come to you and you look and say, are you kidding me?
The 2 issues that the city kind of puts in the background when they allow the construction of housing. Now, down the old train station,
Right.
they're gonna do something there.
Oh, yeah, housing and
Yeah.
apartments, and then they're gonna put stores.
Okay. They don't address the issue of school students, okay? The influx of students. Oh, we just built 2 brand new schools.
Yeah.
Duh.
Big deal.
Based on what standard of number of students. And then, automobiles. How many families are strictly one vehicle?
Not very many.
Not very, particularly in a closed environment. The people next to me, nice people. I have lost track trying to keep track of the number of cars that they have in that house.
Yeah.
And neither one of us have a driveway.
Yeah.
So we're pretty much screwed.
Right.
But again, it is what it is. I mean, those are the 2 issues that don't get addressed when the city.
Parking, the thing with parking is a lot of people now are a lot of things we're asking to. What do you do? A lot of people are doing underground parking, which is fine as long as you provide parking, and But when all we kept hearing was, "Oh, we'll park at Buckley, we'll park at Buckley, we'll park at." How many people can park at Buckley? Just come on, it just became ridiculous.
I don't even want. I don't even want to bring up the parking at Buckley when the
But it's
the garage was the other garage was out of commission by the courthouse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's just how many cars can park at Buckley? That's what we kept hearing. Well, people doing apartments on Essex Street. Oh, we're going to use the Buckley garage. Really? Okay. How many people are you gonna put in there? I don't know.
The LRA wants a whole bunch of property along Methuen Street. One of those big lots, they should multi-story parking garage.
Right. Yep. Well, yeah,
Duh. But it ain't gonna happen.
no, I don't know.
There is no money to be made on parking garages.
No.
Well, again, there is. Yeah, if a private developer does it, you get the tax money, but that's it.
Yeah.
It's minimal.
But, well, no, but even if the city built it, and you you want to park there, you have so much a month, so much whatever.
Resident parking.
Yeah, resident parking. You'll have your own, space. You'll have your own thing.
Well, spaces don't work out because people. Oh, I didn't know this wasn't my space.
No, but
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
yeah,
But again, it is what it is.
yeah. But anyway, so tonight, 7:00, City Council chamber,
Yeah.
public hearing for the budget,
Yes.
and we're gonna take notes of how many of you were there.
Yeah. Well, again.
Yeah.
Like I said, please put your 2 cents worth in. If Brenda wants to say something and then I want to say something and we both say the same thing, that's acceptable.
Right.
It's a concern, an individual concern. If 19 people want to say the same thing, that's good.
Right.
It shows,
People listening and watching and
okay,
seeing what's going on.
but Brenda can't say the same thing 19 times because
Right.
we'll be looking to buy Giovanni a new gavel.
And God knows we can't afford that because I don't know. It's on the budget. I don't know.
Discretionary funds.
Oh, that's yeah, but wait a minute.
Wait a minute. One of those, get him a fancy meat tenderizer. Hannah.
That would last longer than a gavel, probably. I don't know.
I have no
That's
idea.
just so funny. It's just we
Use
just,
a meat tenderizer to tenderize the brains of the people. It is what it is.
I don't know. So we just need to, like I said, we need to see you down there. You need to start going because this is
People need to start getting involved because it's only going to get worse.
Because this is the 6 month, half a year. So you pull papers. You need to start attending because you have January, you have July, August, September, October, November, and December. You have 6 months to be there.
Well, actually, you pull papers. You've got.
August is the
whether you make the cut.
Yeah.
But the Board of Registrars in the middle of August.
Right.
That gives you about 3 weeks between everything being certified by the Board of Registrars and the preliminary election, which is what,
The primary,
16th, I think?
I believe so. Yes.
September 16th. Yeah, so when's your next meeting?
The 9th, I
The
believe.
9th, 16th, so 17th, if your meeting is on
Or
a
maybe
Monday.
whatever. Maybe the 8th.
8th, okay,
Yeah,
16th would make sense.
Yeah.
I think that number
Yeah.
rings a bell.
Yeah.
So it gives you about 3.5 weeks of campaigning.
Right.
Some are gonna be no campaigns. District A is
There's 5 of them running.
5, yes. Right now, there's supposedly 7 of us that have pulled for councilor at large.
Right.
5 have turned in sufficient number of signatures.
Mhm.
2 haven't, but 1 will. The other one, that remains to be seen. But again, I assume he is because signs up the yin yang out there.
Yeah.
And again, you look at the signs, you can tell what everybody's political affiliation is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just remember, there are some of us that do wear a brown suit to a black tie dinner. I'm one of them. I'll say what's on my mind. They don't like it, and I'll ask them.
Yeah.
You got to ask embarrassing. You don't rubber stamp just because somebody says this is a good idea. Why is it a good idea?
Yeah.
How close to the job requirements is that person? Was it somebody that had better job requirements, but this one was better liked by somebody upstairs?
That's how it's going.
Oh, yeah, that's how it does,
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and a lot of people are afraid to ask that question. I'm not. What are they gonna do?
Right.
Fire me? If I get elected?
If you get elected, they can't do a damn thing.
Well, there's a lot to
Yeah.
get elected and don't do a damn thing too.
Well, this is very true, and we can name at least two of them.
No, I won't go so far as to say that.
But-
Maybe 3 or 4.
Okay.
Okay, no, but it
Yeah.
is what
I
it
know.
is.
All right,
So-
so tonight and tomorrow,
Yeah, and maybe Wednesday.
maybe Wednesday, hopefully not.
And as we close, this might be.
Certainly, keep your fingers crossed.
Yeah. Yes.
I want
Eyes
to be,
crossed.
I want to be, you know what, we can still do it over at the new place.
We could. Yes.
I think we should. I think it's July, we start doing the new place.
Yeah.
Although I think we should be out of here by then. because
Yeah,
I think we're
I-
great,
we
I think
better
we should,
be.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, so with that, like I said, this could be the last
Yeah.
time. We don't know.
but only for here. It's not, but we will be back.
Oh, we're not going. We're like a bad check. We're going to keep
We're gonna
coming
keep
back.
coming back.
Yeah.
Until you guys figure it out.
Okay. In closing,
Yeah.
much as I hate to say it, I want to wish everybody a happy Juneteenth. That's a holiday coming up Thursday.
And Saturday at the boathouse is their open house, so if you have kids, if you whatever, 11 to 3, go to the boathouse. It's a great event,
Yeah.
great time.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll be there with my.
And on the 23rd is Prospect Hill District 8 Neighborhood Association, 6 o'clock, Potham School.
Yep.
Attend that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else.
Yeah. Trying to think what. Well, the July 10th thing is.
Oh, and we'll be here before the fireworks are June 3rd. July 3rd, I'm sorry.
Oh, there could be. July 3rd could be a biggie.
Yep, definitely. July.
I want to get the underwear concession.
All right, we will see you then.
We'll see you whatever, but hopefully we'll see some of you
Tonight.
tonight,
All
tomorrow
right,
night.
have a good one.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
All right.